Yeah, it's time. Let's hit it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Turn that music down. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the bonus show, RFC AfterHours, episode number 152, the bonus edition, the Thursday. Not even night. We're in the afternoon still. It's not even nighttime yet. This is all new to me. A whole bonus show for you guys. Alright, let me cut the music here and just explain all of this for you. By the way, Mark is in the server. He should be joining us in just a mere moment. Today, we have some questions to bring to Mark. Nick's video dropped last night. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but if you did, I hope you paid attention to the last part, which is arguably the best, definitely the best part of the video, but the part that brings in new information. We all know why D'Angelo's a scumbag. We've already addressed this entire argument. Nick went on a hunt this past weekend. Nick wanted to find out who was the snitch. Perhaps I should have started the stream off with Blue's Clues instead. Maybe we'll end it off that way. I don't know. Feel like a missed opportunity there. But that being said, Nick went on a hunt. He wanted to find out who done it. He wanted to find out who sent the info to D'Angelo. Because D'Angelo was not a YouTuber, at least as far as we know. He's not a guy who was familiar with Tom. This all happened seemingly randomly. And D'Angelo himself admits in the video that somebody supplied him the information. Somebody who was a friend of Tom's. So naturally, people were trying to find out who done it. And Nick, he didn't pinpoint Mark, but he definitely pointed out that Mark is a suspect. And I pointed out, hey, Mark, you want to come on the show? We can, talk about it. We can get some clarity on the situation. We can kind of see your side. And initially, he wasn't down, but then he changed his mind real quick. I was going to try to put him on the regular show tomorrow, but he couldn't make it. He's going out of town and stuff. It's all fun, so I just figured we'll set up a bonus episode of some sorts, and we'll get everything set up. It doesn't matter. We can just do it right now on the channel. And so as soon as he's ready to hop in the room, then we'll begin this right now. Now, I went back through Nick's video, and I took some active notes just to kind of gather everything that Nick kind of pointed out and where the questions come into play. And then I have a whole list of questions written by Nick, and we'll get into all of that. I'm curious because based on what I've seen, it looks to me that it's pretty obvious Mark was involved. Perhaps he was not the leak. Perhaps he's not the main guy even involved in this situation. But that's not what's being argued, because it seems like a lot of people think that Nick pointed out Mark as the pure suspect. Mark was the guy who sent the info to D'Angelo. That's not the argument that Nick made. The argument that Nick made was that he supported the grifter and was complicit in the slander, and that makes him a scumbag. Nick even went out of his way to point out that he contacted people and told them, steer clear of Mark. Excuse me, this is, that's a pretty big action to take. It seems pretty clear that something's going on here. So I want to get down to the bottom of it. I want to see what's up. Let me just open up my DMs here and see if he's ready to go. Okay, I'm just reading my DM here. Alright, as soon as, Ellis Mark, if you're watching the stream, as soon as you want to hop in, we'll get this, this show started. I'll just tag him in the server. Doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. Let me catch up on chat here. Who's in your Space Dragons, Pioxis, Tedious Ninja, did Chick Tries YouTube? Been a while? Or maybe you've been here, I don't know. BLT, what's going on? I hate bad YouTube channels, but you don't hate mine. Jada's here, Beast goes, Danny's here, Chaz Swampman, what's up? Some people saying they haven't caught a stream in a while. Yeah, the channel has been doing well. It's been doing pretty good these past few days. I appreciate it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh my god. Seems like Mark warns Tom something like this would happen. Not been here in years. Well, glad to see you back. Oh, Mark's in here now. We'll pull him in. Hello, what's going on, Mark?
Oh, sorry. I need to pause the stream then, because you're talking over yourself.
All good.
Yeah, okay. What's up?
Long time no talk. It's been a minute. What's up, man?
Yeah. What's up?
Have you, Just editing. Have you seen have you seen what's been going on? Have you paid attention to the Twitter world, Mark?
No, I might need a refresher. What's going on? Why am I here?
Okay. Alright. Nick drops a video last night, mostly on D'Angelo. It's mostly about D'Angelo. And I did see, your DM. You don't really want to get into, the whole D'Angelo video and stuff like that, or argue for D'Angelo or anything like that. That's all good. But at the last segment of the video, in the 5 minutes, he goes over some stuff to try to pin who done it, who did the leaks, who gave info to D'Angelo. The thing that makes this significant is that you and Tom used to be like, I don't, best friends, good friends at least. Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, you know, internet associates.
Like,
yeah.
A year ago, around.
Yeah. Can I ask, so you're not friends anymore, I gather that at least.
No, people seem to think it was like a huge, giant falling out, but it was really just, I realized that we don't really mesh well together. He did some things that I wasn't a fan of, I do things that he isn't a fan of, so I was like, whatever, that's fine, so I just unfollowed him and was like, I explained him in private, but I guess that wasn't good enough. I think people... I don't know, I feel like people online can't really accept that some stuff just needs to be settled in private and want everything to be a big show, but it's whatever.
Okay, is there any specific reason, I don't know if you want to air it out, you know, on live stream, but is there any reason you guys aren't, you said he did some things that you don't agree with or something, does this tie into, you know, the whole racism thing or something like that?
Oh, of course not. No, I was public about this. If you watch my stream, which Nick clipped, I don't have a problem with Tom saying his the stuff he says. I think context is extremely important. I never once said that. If anything, I was defending Tom's right to say those words.
Okay, so you have no issues with, you know, edgy humor or something like that. You just acknowledge that, you know.
No, if I were to be against edgy humor, then I'd be a massive fucking hypocrite. Because I don't really do it anymore, but I used to back around a year ago. I was very, very edgy in private, but I never really tried to pull that stuff into my videos.
Yeah. I've seen some of that float around as I've been just kind of compiling all this together. So here's what I did. I went back and I watched the segment on Nick. I took some active notes, and we'll go into that. Kind of go into the video there, and then I have a list of questions that Nick wrote up for me. We'll get into all of that. So Nick's segment starts. First off, okay, it's important to clarify. You have some bad history with Tom, which would point to, you know, potentially there's motivation, I guess. So.
Oh yeah. Whenever this situation first happened, I think whenever Tom first started questioning who did it, I was like, okay, well, I'm the fucking prime suspect here because. He knows that we're not in the best of terms, but I don't know, I didn't really want to... In private, I was like, I know you all think it's me, but I just have to say it's not. And just to get it out here now, in the time since we've organized this interview and it actually happening, the person who leaked it has publicly tweeted admitting it.
Yeah, I was bullshitting around on Twitch earlier, and Nick came in, he showed me that and stuff like that. I think the important distinction here is to remind the fact that Nick he spent a lot of time on you, but he never full out said that he has conclusive proof that you were the one who leaked stuff. And
No, I'm just mainly saying this because I've been getting added and DM'd all day going like, wow, why would you leak this? And I just want to put it out there that the person who did it has admitted it. Like, it's...
So you've never...
Like, can we at least agree that it wasn't me?
So you've never sent anything to D'Angelo to add to his video. You've never pointed D'Angelo to other people that he should talk to.
Oh no, I didn't do that. No, that's different all entirely. Whenever I say I didn't leak anything, I didn't send him screenshots of any DMs. I want to go over what happened. Just I know I'm taking over your thing, but I just want to.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm here to listen.
Yeah, because I was obviously taking notes too. So D'Angelo made his first tweet, and I saw it in passing. I think I actually saw it because Tom like retweeted it or something, quote tweeted it, and I was like, I don't agree entirely, but I can see where he's coming from. But then the next day, I got a message from D'Angelo on Twitter, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And he basically said, "Yo, someone came to me with a bunch of these screenshots of Tom saying racial and anti-Semitic stuff, and they also directed me saying you used to be friends with Tom, so I just want to get your thoughts on him." And I told him my thoughts. I said exactly what I'm saying now. I told him I don't think Tom is a racist at all. I just think personally he shouldn't have to agree with me here, that I think he should have a little bit of foresight to know that he's going to get called out for this kind of stuff, and he should kind of be prepared for that kind of stuff happening. But I don't think he's racist at all.
Okay. Alright, so in your conversation with D'Angelo, he basically came to you looking for some dirt, and you You didn't
No,
say,
he wasn't
if you want
looking-
something, talk to this guy, or look what I found in this group chat, or something like that. Like, that never happened?
No, he wasn't looking for dirt on Tom. He was just looking for other people's... Because D'Angelo knew next to nothing about Tom before this. So, he was just going to people. I'm assuming he went to other people, but he came to me from being referred from somebody else to ask what my opinions on Tom was. Not really looking for dirt, just to get a general idea of what Tom's like and what the people's opinion on him is.
Okay. So that's your thing right there. Now, Nick pointed out in your live stream, you kind of go a little back and forth. Yeah, in your live stream on when you were doing some Sonic live stream a week ago. Nick was there to collect some of your statements, I assume. So Nick pointed out that you said Mark says Tom's said a lot of racist things, but then you say something like, you said some specific comment where it was like, when people see like the recent stuff Tom said, he's fucked. Which really, like, optics wise, that does not sound good. I'm just being honest here. Yeah.
Again, I was playing a video game live. I'm not in, like, wasn't scripted. It was just off the top of my head, just saying whatever came to mind.
Yeah.
What I meant by that is, Tom's main point at the time, to my knowledge, was that, everyone else's point at the time was that these messages were from a year ago. And to me, at the time, from what I was seeing, that was sort of their main point, that and the minor thing. So to me, I was basically saying, if something recent comes out about that, then that's his argument. Fuck, that's what I meant by that.
Okay, alright. So, because like the way you said it, it sounded as if like you knew that you had some stuff on him recently, and like if that ever comes out, almost implying that you would have known like of a video that would contain that or something like that. And you know, I'm trying not to look too into it, but you can't not acknowledge that there is like it's you know, it's not unreasonable to see how people could see, you know, some suspicion in that.
No, of course not. I completely understand why people assumed it was me off the bat. That's why I'm here. I just want to clear up that Tom knows it wasn't me leaking stuff. I told Tom before Nicholas released his video. Is his name Nick or Nicholas? Which do people say? I know nothing about this guy.
Nick. Yeah.
Like long before he made his video, I had let Tom know that I was contacted by D'Angelo when he told me about his video. But there was a message. You can keep talking while I look for this. I don't have a bunch of stuff. It was a DM, sorry, where it's like, it's me saying, I talked with that D'Angelo guy a couple hours ago, and Tom really shouldn't have tweeted that. It's going to make him look dumber when the guy's video comes out. His actual point.
We're now at 2 where, you know, optics-wise, this, you know, doesn't look good.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I want to clear up. Sorry,
because
I want to clear
there's
up
like
that,
some sort of, it's almost as if, and I'm not saying there is, you know, I'm being unbiased here, but it looks as if there's some, you know, like implications that you know something's gonna happen, like, oh, he's gonna be fucked up, or something like that, you know what I mean?
By this was, by the way, 'cause it's just a single tweet, there's no context given with it. This was in a group chat that Tom could easily see, and basically, I was talking with D'Angelo. He was telling me about his video just so I can get a great understanding of what he was trying to find out whenever I find out that it was...
Fellas, how are we today?
We're joined by TurkeyTom.
Basically, whenever I was talking to him about Tom when he was looking to find his thoughts. So,
Right, I think it should be good now. This is just not working. Okay, I cannot hear anything.
Hello.
I'll be back.
All right. Go fix your stuff. Yeah, TurkeyTom's here. He popped in. By the way, I just want to be fully transparent. I was not expecting that. This wasn't some sort of pre-planned. Come in at 10 minutes. Yeah. That's not. But anyway, so going through my things here, you also make reference to the fact that Tom had a video that's now unlisted, where he's talking about KSI, and he's like making like monkey noises or something like that. Like, is that a real thing? Yeah, that was me
basically. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say it's not a real thing. Basically. My point was that I thought Tom... Again, my point was, if something like that, which was fairly recent, it was like... Was it recent? I'm trying to think. I know it was around the time... Whatever, it was less than a year, if I recall. But if something like that came out, that the people... His argument
so that's a real video?
Years ago wouldn't work. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not... I'd like to think Tom wouldn't lie and deny it. I'd like to think that.
Okay. So I think you've already clarified. I wrote a question here. Do you think Tom's a racist? I think you've clarified that you have no issue with edge humor. You just acknowledge the fact that if this is going to come back and, bite you in the ass, you have to be, prepared for it or expect it or, not engage in that humor, purely for optics reasons or whatever.
I don't think that Tom shouldn't engage with that humor. It's entirely up to him. But my point is this, that I don't think he should be that surprised when somebody calls him out for it.
All right. Let's continue on here. So I have, let's see, the video pulled up at 30.
Can I finish? Tom joined while I was explaining something, sorry. The DM where I was like, it's going to make Tom look dumber when the guy's video comes out and sees his actual point. So at that point in time, I was talking to D'Angelo about his video because I wanted to know what he was trying to accuse Tom of, just to see if I agreed with him or not. And the point was that I got an idea of what it was. I knew it was going to be like sort of... Tom was tweeting and his friends were tweeting like D'Angelo was trying to cancel him and call him an anti-Semite and a Nazi and stuff. But after talking with D'Angelo, I kind of understood, like, no, this is just going to be like a team video where he tries to let his audience understand why he said what he said. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be a huge cancel thing, so that's why I said Tom really shouldn't be tweeting right now. He should just wait for the video to come out, because it's going to make him look like he's overreacting about D'Angelo's video.
The video itself was a smooth delivery, but the tweets and the community posts leading up to that, D'Angelo starts his claim by pointing out, hey, there's some anti-Semitic imagery in this video. Not cool, bro. Basically something like that. And then the next day comes out and says something like, hey, remember that guy TurkeyTom? Turns out he is a racist. He said that word for word, called Tom a racist on his community tab for engaging in that type of humor. So,
I never mentioned racist, though. I said anti-Semitic and a Nazi. I never mentioned racism.
Okay, all right. Let's bring Tom back and see if he's still there. Tom, are you there?
Alrighty, yeah, I'm still here.
What's going on, man?
I don't know what happened. I had a boomer moment. But anyway, how we doing, Mark? It's been a little while, big guy.
It's like a year.
So I guess the only thing I want to say is lots of people have been saying, "Oh, he's changed. He's changed. He's not this way anymore."
I've changed?
No. People are talking about me.
TurkeyTom's changed. Okay.
And you're right. TurkeyTom has changed. People are saying, "Oh, he's changed." No, I've not. I'm not going to say the N-word ad nauseum because I don't find the word itself particularly funny. I guess I was going through a particularly edgy phase. And certainly I won't be making, very edgy jokes in private anymore or anywhere, seeing how people react, seeing the sort of fear-mongering that people have. Oh, he's a racist, he's a Nazi, which, D'Angelo didn't call me a Nazi, but a lot of people in his comments did imply that I'm one. Not to mention, you like in his video, he backpedals. He's like, "What? My criticism was just that he was saying some weird stuff." But it's like, no, it's not. You said in your tweet that I'm a racist, and then in your video, you backpedal. I don't know, not a big fan.
I think he still called you a racist in the video, didn't he?
I don't think he did. I think he was like, he didn't really. The point of his tweets, really, at a certain point, was that I was a racist. I think in his video, he was like, well, I'm not going to try to convince you he's a racist because there's no point I can. But he certainly, it was a big tonal shift. He came out pretty hot and heavy on Twitter. And then once we responded in the same way, he's like, well, you guys are just overreacting. What's wrong with you? I don't know, it's kind of cringe. But anyway, LS Mark, as for you, I think, I haven't been watching the whole stream. I just sort of hopped on when I saw you were in here so I could go give my 2 cents, if you will. I don't think that anyone was implying that you leaked it. I guess some people probably took it that way. You know how YouTube commenters are. They're not. Yeah. They're not the most intelligent. But I think in Nick's video, and I made sure to tell him this. He didn't say that you were the leaker. He simply said that you were clearly involved. And I don't understand this girl Delvina's reasoning. Now that she's made herself public, I guess I feel comfortable talking about it. She thinks that she was trying to help me, and I know we talked about the reasoning a bit, but I don't know who she thinks she helped in the situation. I don't know. It's just this whole thing is just so cringe.
My thing with that is I don't think she should have done what she did, but I can somewhat I know she wasn't doing it with malintent. She thought she was helping.
Well, no, I don't think she thinks she's helping, but she's not very intelligent. I guess I don't know. Either that, or she's just like very, very misguided, which I guess are kind of the same thing in this situation. It's like I don't know what she thought would help. You know, I don't expect her to think that she could like DM me and be like, "Hey Tom, you shouldn't say that stuff," because I was not willing to DM her. At the time, you know, she was annoying me. She sent me a song about feet and pubic hair, and so I essentially ghosted her. I stopped talking to her.
Wait, wait a minute.
Yeah. So well, here's the story, right? Here's the story. I don't know if you explained this, Mark, but here's the story. So when Mark and I were good pals, we were in this group chat together with all Mark's buddies, you know, some cool people. Shout out Nonadiddle. What a Chad. Shout out Jacob Dove Scott, the real
He's
Chad
not
in this
there
situation,
anymore.
the real gamer. He's not around anymore?
No, I don't know what happened to him.
Damn. Shout out Illustrious, whatever your name is. Pretty big.
All right. Let's get to. I want to hear the story.
Really, you know, the conversation that we want to have here is, I was in this group chat and I said some very edgy things because these were my friends. You know, I thought they were my friends. I'd been in this group chat for months, and at a certain point I left because there was a lot of drama going on with these people. You know, everyone seemed to be angry at each other. There was some weird relationship stuff going on that didn't end so well. So I wasn't a fan of that. So I left. And this girl, Delvina, she just keeps messaging me. She's like, "Hey, Tom, how are you? Hey, Tom, how are you? Hey, Tom, how are you?" And I'd made it clear to her that I didn't want to talk to her. She was like, "Tom, we need to help you with your problems." And I was like, "You know what, Delvina? Despite my monotone voice, I'm not depressed, and I don't want to talk to you. So you should go away." But she kept doing it. She kept saying it. And eventually, maybe to get my attention or something, she just sent me a song about feet and pubic hair. I think it was the lyrics she copied and pasted. Maybe it was something akin to that. I guess that shouldn't be a direct quote, but it was something pretty vile. And at that point, I was just like, all right, I'm done talking to this girl. So, you know, she got my attention, and I blocked her on Discord. I didn't want to talk to her anymore. And now a few months ago, I don't remember the exact context, but I think some people were calling me mean or something. And she came out. She was like, "You know what? I know firsthand that Tom's a dick. He was a dick to me." Keep in mind, she says this while I'm blocked from her, so I can't say anything. But someone sent it to me, of course, because, you know, things get her. So I respond to her, and I'm like, "Delvina, I blocked you because you sent me a song about feet and pubic hair. I clearly said to you multiple times I didn't want to talk to you, and you continue doing this." And she, you know, she was annoying me, so I blocked her, and she kept going. You know,
Yeah.
she kept going a few more times, right? But eventually, you know, on Twitter here, she was like, "You know what, Tom? Fine, I'll leave you alone. You know, clearly you don't want anything to do with me. No, I don't want anything to do with you. Goodbye." And I was like, "All right." And now, just a few months later, she's like, "Oh, well, we gotta help Tom. We gotta help him." It's like, geez, that really helped me. You know, this could have cost me like getting into college. Some people IRL that I know.
So you're saying that this is a nutty bitch.
So I didn't
That's what you're saying.
them. So I don't. Yeah, it's like I don't know who you think you're helping here. But you should seriously fuck off. That's what I think.
I see a lot of people in the chat saying how did she think that would do better? Do you want to explain that, Tom, just so people at least know?
Yeah. So I think her basic justification was that, like, she thought that I would learn that my words have consequences, right? Would you say that's accurate, Mark?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, right.
So she's a nutty bitch.
Well, I don't know.
I'm hearing all this stuff. It's going in here, and all I hear is nutty bitch. That's all I'm listening to.
Well, I know you have a particular mannerism about these things, Augie. And she is an e-girl, so I'll give you that. She does have that disposition, but you know, at the end of the day, she also told me like weird shit about her boyfriend. I'm sorry, and like, I don't want to get into this, but like, the bottom line is, I didn't want to talk to her. Now she leaks this because she thinks it's gonna help me because I learned the consequences of my actions. When clearly that was already happening, right? That was already happening. This guy was saying, "Oh, you know, this anti-Semitic content." A lot of people were implying that I'm an anti-Semite. Clearly, I was there. I was there to learn. I was a student of D'Angelo. And then she comes in and she DMs him this stuff, you know, of me saying the gamer word, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? You're not helping anyone. Fuck you. So
let's talk about someone else, sort of in this situation that kind of got wrapped up. I'm gonna show on stream right now. This was in Nick's video. It's a screenshot from somebody by the name of What the Chick. They tweeted, "Hey D'Angelo, can I DM you about something important? Your email doesn't exist apparently." Now Nick in his video goes on to kind of explain how when this was brought. Wait, hold on. Let me get this out, and then we'll see.
Yes,
Nick basically points out that in the NCO chat, in the logs, when this was brought up to LS Mark, he was almost like sort of like pretending like he wasn't aware of who this person was. I'll go ahead and see if he scrolls through the DMs here.
I'm pretty sure I acknowledged that I knew who he was immediately.
Yeah.
What the check? I'll say it right now. What the check is someone who I know. We're not like great friends. We barely talk. It's just someone I know and I'm on good terms with. That's my stance on what the check right now.
Yeah. So Tom says you're familiar by name by a man by the name of What the Check. Mark says, "Oh yeah, What the Check made the commentary video and is in a group chat I'm in. What did he do?" Tom goes on to point out that he's basically directly trying to reach out to D'Angelo to, I guess, give some dirt. He was a moderator in your stream, and he was present.
I find it weird that he's like denying it. It just made the connection in my head. All I did was search up at D'Angelo DM, and I found this guy tweeting at him. He's mutuals with Delvina. I'm pretty sure he's mutuals with all the people in this friend group. It's just not quite adding up, Check. And just like a month ago, I saw this tweet from you. You're like, wow, this is really what happens when you get hurt by one girl. You start tweeting about e-girls. Dog, I've been shitting on e-girls for months. So fuck you. But yeah, I don't know. That's
Mark. Who is this? Who is this guy? Do you know what he's been doing? Because it looks like he's certainly if he didn't give information, he certainly tried to.
He apparently, according to him, wanted to reach out to D'Angelo just to talk with him and give him his thoughts on the situation. From what I heard, from what he told me after I asked him about this, he wasn't looking to leak anything, because I doubt he wasn't in any group chats with you, was he, Tom? I doubt he'd have anything to leak.
Unless somebody else leaked stuff to him and he had that information, of course.
That's true. I don't know, but from what he told me, he wasn't planning on leaking anything. He didn't go through with it either. D'Angelo never messaged him back, so it went nowhere. That's what he told me. I'm just going off what he told me. I don't know definitively.
Okay. And
I want to say, just to go back to this before I forget, Tom said earlier that Nick never really said that I was the guy who did it, but to me, he heavily implied it by saying I was the prime suspect. And to me, it's like, of course, people are going to look at that and go, like, I'm going to go ask Mark what he did.
People will look at what they're going to look at, but I mean, if Nick never said it, you can't dispute an allegation that he never made. So you're certainly a suspect. I mean, that's
no, that's what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is, at this point in time, I'm 99% sure Tom already knew who the leaker was.
And that's something interesting you said. So you said Tom already knew, but Nick and Tom wanted to get you, basically. Something along those lines. Is that correct?
No, I'm pretty sure what I said was that I'm pretty sure Tom helped Nick with this video, so I'm sure it would have come up in conversation at this point, that he goes like, oh yeah, it wasn't actually Mark.
Yeah, but if Tom already knew, are you basically implying that Tom was going to be dishonest in the situation and lead Nick on the wrong trail or something like that? Or Nick and Tom both knew, but they decided to put you up because you had more stuff, or something like that? Like, what are you arguing here? Because I will testify, I was in plenty of calls with Tom when this whole situation was going down, and when Tommy C brought up the fact that it's NCO people that are going after Tom
Alrighty, sorry.
Did not want to believe that it was you or that it was anyone else. So I'm that's what I'm curious about. Go ahead, Tom or Mark or.
Which is it? Who's going?
Mark. Because I'm just confused, right? Because you're saying that they already knew before the video came out. Does that mean you're implying that they intentionally went after you instead when they knew who it really was?
Not that they intentionally did it, because they could easily just, I don't know, he could have easily just forgotten. All I'm saying is I find it weird that Tom already knew that it wasn't me, yet still put it in.
So you're saying that Tom knew it wasn't you, but he still let Nick go after you and helps Nick go at you, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I don't know how involved Tom was in this video. So he could have easily just never have been helping with that part, so he never told him.
So what are you... You're saying Tom knew, but you still...
I'm saying Tom knew, yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Tom,
yes,
he's saying that you knew...
I got that boomer internet, you know how it is.
Yeah. He's saying that you knew.
Oh yeah, I did, and I told Nick who it was. He said it was a pretty big development. I think the night before the video came out, we said that we knew exactly.
Is
who
why I
it
find
was.
it weird that he said I was a prime suspect.
Well, I think he said you were a prime suspect.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That doesn't mean that he thinks you're the leaker. And I think a decent part of what he's saying is that like it just looks weird that you say you weren't involved when you're friends with all these people.
When did I say I wasn't involved? Sorry.
Well, are you saying now that you did know about it? Because
that I didn't know about what?
Well, the DMs being leaked to D'Angelo, because initially you were like, we were talking to the NCO about it, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I've got a timeline of events that I told you earlier today, Tom, but I'll say it again. So D'Angelo made his first tweet calling out Tom for being anti-Semitic or whatever.
No.
I
know your timeline. But you can see.
Yeah, I gotta say it on stream, obviously.
As soon. Yeah. Well, I think you already gave the timeline, but like the thing is, like, it's like.
No, I didn't.
When we were. Oh, you didn't? All right, I'll let you go.
Sorry. Yeah, but then after he made his tweet, I think it was around a day later, he came to me saying that he was directed to me from somebody looking to know my thoughts. I told him I didn't think Tom was racist, but I thought I can understand why he was getting called out for this stuff, since people can believe what they want to believe. Then, after people started questioning who leaked it, I knew that I was obviously going to be the prime example, because people knew me and Tom had a rough history, and that's why around this time I was chiming in the group chats like, I know y'all think it was me, but I just want to say it wasn't. So then, after talking with D'Angelo for a bit, I understood that his general idea of the video was that he wanted to just give a team like understanding to his audience of what he thought when trying to do that, and why that he wasn't planning on cancelling Tom at all. So then, while this happens, I get a message from the person who leaked it, obviously, asking me about it, and they were going off and on, and I was like, I was thinking to myself, why is this person so concerned about this drama? They're not usually involved in this sort of stuff. So while I'm doing that, I'm having like 3 conversations at once, so I put a message into the NCO saying, yeah, I don't know who this is. Then, in his video, I said I was going out of my way to find Tom saying the N-word, but actually, what happened was, while I was talking to this girl, I was like, this is suspicious, so I'm going to look up that group chat. So I went into that group chat and looked up the N-word, and I saw all the screenshots that, D'Angelo was posting, so I put 2 and 2 together, and I asked this girl, were you the one who leaked it? And she was like, yeah, so that's my timeline. So that's whenever I finally put the message into the NCO, Tom, I just found out who it was, you're going to flip. That's why I said you're going to flip, because it's someone who you would have never expected.
Yeah, no, it's not that I would never expect her, but it was just not my first, not the first person I would see in mind. I'm coming to expect anyone at this point, really. But you can see from our perspective, right? How it's like it's a little weird. It's like as soon as I mention, oh, this happened, you're like, oh wait, now I know who it is. Now
it's very convenient that I figured it out while I was talking to you, but it's what happened. Like there's nothing I can do to prove, but that's all I gotta say. It's happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, that's something Nick pointed out in his video, is that 8 minutes later, Elsmark mysteriously re-enters the chat, and now he knows where shit is.
Yeah, I spent that 8 minutes talking to this girl, and then going to the group chat and looking up the N-word and going, oh, okay. It was you.
So you're saying you were somewhat on Tom's side in this whole situation, correct?
I understood why Tom was getting called out. I just didn't personally agree with it.
Okay, so
but I could understand why D'Angelo was saying what he said.
All right. Listen, I got a whole list of questions written by Nick himself. People were asking, why isn't he on today? He's in class. So he did want some stuff answered. So I'm going to go ahead
and... Just let you know, sorry, I've got to get a video ready for a sponsor, so I can only be here for 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's roll through it. Alright, Nick's first question. Why do you call Tom a stupid kid who makes racist comments, and you have tweets openly calling people fag or gay as an insult? Hypocritical?
No, because back then I was an idiot kid who thought edgy jokes were funny, but I don't recall if I've made any edgy jokes like that in recent times.
Alright.
My point was that Tom was still doing this stuff, which he said earlier, he hasn't changed. He admitted that in this very stream.
What's the context of you being a scumbag and a hypocrite not clear to you? It seems like you're directly accusing you of leaking screenshots to D'Angelo.
My point was that he heavily implied that I was the prime suspect, which led a bunch of his audience to come to me.
Alright. When was Tom handling criticism poorly? You seem to make a lot of statements about him whining and crying.
My stance on that was that Tom was making tweets where his main point seemed to have been like, wow, DMs from a year ago, whenever we both knew that he still kind of said stuff like that. And that was my point, in that he was kind of making just pure defenses towards this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything whiny about that tweet. And additionally, like, clearly I was just, I mean, maybe it's not clear.
But by the whiny point, I meant you kept blocking me in the group chat, so I'd get kicked out.
The main reason why I was blocking you is so I could say stuff that I wouldn't otherwise be able to say, because I wasn't confident that you were not going to tell D'Angelo or other people about it.
All right.
But, you know, I think there was one time when I was like, damn, this is annoying, so I just blocked you. But yes, I'm sorry, LS Mark, I'll stop blocking you. You know, I'm all about that. I'm all about that fair criticism. I'm all about the memes and dreams. I'm all about the conversation, all about the banter. But certainly, you know, the point of that tweet for me was just to say, like, this is kind of a low standard to prove that someone is racist. It wasn't to say, oh, I've changed. You know, you can look through my Discord, you know, my public Discord. I clearly still say edgy things now and then. Not surprising.
Okay. How exactly have I clipped your stream out of context? Keep in mind the full video is up now, and some of your audience has probably seen it.
If the full video is up, then that doesn't really apply, obviously. But I'm trying to. I haven't watched this video since this morning because I didn't really care.
Okay. Have you seen Nick's video, like the full thing?
I watched the second half because I really don't care about drama videos anymore.
Okay, even drama videos that are calling you out. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the video was only really calling me out at the end.
Yeah.
And it was calling me out for something I knew I didn't do, so I was like, whatever, I don't care. I know what I know.
All right, let's continue. Why did you not just tell Tom who the leak was in the NCO at the beginning of the situation? You taunted him saying, I don't want to tell you, you're being mean to me, Tom. A dude slandered Tom and you're currently protecting him, scumbag. If that's true, you're complacent.
I don't think it's a good thing to say I'm not the leaker by leaking something else. And also, this person I'm friendly with them. I talk to them occasionally. Like, I don't want to throw them under the bus. I think that's a scummy thing to do, honestly.
So, all right.
The reason I didn't tell Tom it was them was because Tom was being a dick to me at the time by blocking me, and I was like, well, this person's my friend. I don't want to get a bunch. I don't want her getting what's happening to me right now, so I'll just keep it to myself.
He didn't want to unleash the wrath of TurkeyTom.
I didn't want TurkeyTom's fan base, despite the disclaimer saying not to.
So you were perfectly willing to cover up for the actual person?
I was willing to just because I knew at the time, I knew that Tom knew who it was, so I was like, look, as long as Tom knows it wasn't me, just fucking let me have it, I don't care, I'll rather protect my friend.
Yeah, but you're protecting somebody who worked with a guy to slander Tom. I think that's what he's saying.
Well, works with a guy is kind of a thing that
to.
implies that she helped him with this entire video. What happened was, I think she just came to him and was like, this is what I think about Tom, here's some screenshots. She didn't work with him, she just told him some info at the beginning, to my knowledge.
Well, she's providing information, that is...
Because I know she meant well. Tom knows she meant well despite it backfiring.
I think this is where the problem is.
I don't know that she meant well based on the images that were sent to me, like in her explanations. Maybe she did mean well, but...
Alright, I'm starting to see, this is all I wanted, is some clarity in the situation. So... you have this girl who has info, and she's feeding it to D'Angelo. Regardless of if she meant well or not, does it really matter at the end of the day? She's assisting someone who's trying to slander Tom.
I mean, it kind of matters. I think it matters that, like, we can criticize her actions, but I'd say, you know, we can't really criticize her intentions because, you know, if we are to say that she was trying to do the right thing, then I don't want to give her shit and be like, oh, you're just lying. It's like, we don't have any evidence for that. You know, clearly maybe she didn't understand the gravity of the situation. Maybe she thinks that this is helpful for me. Maybe she thinks this is a nice, I don't know, teachable moment, but
it shows that...
Yeah, and let me just say that immediately after she did it, that's why our conversation started. She immediately regretted it, and that's why she came to me in the first place, to be like, I don't know if I did the right thing here.
I mean, if she immediately regretted it, she probably could have messaged him and been like, hey, Can you
Yeah,
not?
but she thought at that point that you would get your. Oh, you mean message D'Angelo? All right, no, I agree with that.
Okay, are you seeing where the criticism's coming in, Mark? Are you seeing why people are a little? Because like information.
No, I agree with what Tom just said there. No, she could have went to D'Angelo and went like, "Hey, yo, I regret this. Just don't make the video." And I'm sure from my conversation with D'Angelo, he seems like a very chill guy, as the cool kids would say. But I think he would have done it. But I just, yeah, that's it. I don't agree with the main criticism, though, that I shouldn't defend a friend whenever I know they had good intent.
All right. Nick asks, why do so many of your talking points echo what D'Angelo said in his video? You seem like a parrot through the stream and post-stream.
Can you give examples, please?
Well, you never... I don't think he...
Well, all right, then. Moving on.
Sorry, what exactly was the question?
Nick was just asking why so many of Mark's points parallel what D'Angelo was saying.
Maybe because I agree with him partially on some stuff.
Okay. Nick says, you're claiming D'Angelo contacted you, and in his video he stated he contacted a friend of TurkeyTom who gave me even more information. Was this you? Did you send him proof? Did you send him Crimson's video, which he took out of context?
Crimson's video?
Crimson Studios.
Is that the one where, oh, right, okay, the one where he said to burn the whatevers.
Yes,
no, to my knowledge... to my knowledge, D'Angelo contacted multiple people. Delvina given multiple people, to my knowledge.
Do you have any idea who that was, Ellis Mark? Can you?
I honestly no clue.
Who this was?
I'm gonna be honest here, no clue.
You don't
Well,
know?
I vow here and now, when I find out who it was, I will mail various things. No, you know what? I can't say that. I can't say that. Don't put me in a self-defense situation. I was joking. It was all a meme. It's all a meme. It's all a meme. It's all a meme. All right, continue.
All right. Let's wrap this entire thing up. So, look, you're testifying here that no, Tom's not a racist. You don't have an issue with edgy humor. That being said, when questioned on the situation, you yourself never gave D'Angelo a lead. You never gave him information. You never told him who else to contact. Nothing along those lines. He came to you, and you fed him nothing. All right? But
no,
you did
I fed him my opinion on Tom.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you fed him nothing that he could use in the video.
Yeah, I didn't leak anything.
All right. But you did know who did.
I knew after, like, whenever that message, does it say date in those DMs where I say you're gonna flip? No, it doesn't. That is the exact point. This was after I talked to D'Angelo.
Okay. That's where the argument really comes down, because Nick never said that you were, the one guy who leaked shit. He was just saying that you were complacent in the situation.
He also said I was the prime suspect for leaking stuff, which obviously would make people assume it was me. That's not his fault entirely, but he had to have known that people would go like, oh, it was Mark then.
Okay.
And can I ask something? This is me trying to make some huge point. It's just something I find curious.
Yeah.
Nick, he makes the point, like, one of the big points with Tom was that he's a minor, and he's going out of his way to criticize a minor. I am also, if you didn't know, a minor. Why is it okay for him to try and, quote-unquote, cancel me? Why is it okay for me but not okay for Tom?
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I don't think anyone was trying to cancel you. I think you were criticized.
No, I'm using cancel very broadly.
Yeah, no, I understand. I would say I think the differentiation between that is, like, there's a difference between criticizing someone, and you know what? I'll say I think you can try to cancel me all you want. It's fine. It hasn't worked yet. But you know, I think the point was D'Angelo was trying to, like he said in the video, he sort of downplayed his attempts to make me look like a racist on Twitter, but that's clearly what he was doing on Twitter. He said, "Happy Thanksgiving. We're eating turkey, Tom." You know, when you make one of those tweets with the nice little screenshot and you ping someone, it's like, it's very clear that you're not going in with the best intentions. It's not just criticism at that point, right? And he says, "Oh, well, these people are overreacting." Well, for people who, you know, claiming they hate SJWs, and I don't think I've said that, but I don't particularly. I don't even like the pejorative that much. But anyway, he said for people who claim to rail against SJWs, it's weird that they're freaking out when someone criticizes them. That's not really the response. The response isn't to criticism. You can criticize anyone. I've messaged plenty of people who have criticized me in their videos, and I've said, hey, I like this video. Some of which I'm now on, pretty friendly terms with. That's not what he did. It wasn't just criticism. It was, oh, look at these DMs that this kid made. He said the N-word. He said the gamer word. He's a racist. And it's like, all right, big guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that, but that's something for D'Angelo, not me, to answer.
Yeah, of course. I guess I went on a tangent there, but I don't know. For you, Mark, I guess I know you're using the word very like pejorative. I don't know, colloquially.
Well, I think the term cancel.
I know that I can say this. I don't think anyone's trying to cancel you.
Yeah.
I think they're criticizing you.
I think that the whole canceling thing, cancel culture, has gone out of hand, where people see any kind of criticism as canceling. At first, I didn't really think D'Angelo was trying to cancel Tom at all, but these people who were defending Tom are now doing the exact same thing that they claimed D'Angelo was doing to him, to me.
Are they? Are they?
Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like I leaked shit with no evidence at all, while your point was at the start, after his first...
In that case, I do not support that. Fellas, use the evidence. Use the evidence.
All right. I think we've wrapped this up reasonably as well as we can. I'm glad that you're honest in the fact that you did in fact know who it was. I think the debate now is, regardless of if you thought her intentions were good or not, if you should have outed her, because it looks like you're protecting someone who's trying to slander a former friend of yours. And I think that's Nick's point in the video, is that, because Nick mentioned this guy cannot be trusted at all. He is, a scumbag. Nick outright said that. You are a scumbag.
I also feel like he could have mentioned in the video that he was aware of the fact of who it was, because he knew who it was. What's the point in even needing suspects if he knows who it was?
Well, this is the first time hearing, because honestly, like,
well,
I didn't know.
Sorry, but why does he need suspects at all if he already knew who it was?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I honestly, I wasn't aware that Nick knew 100% who it was, or even Tom knew 100% what it was. Well, as far as I knew,
I'd say it was more him. It was more him going through the motions of the situation, because in the video he was like, okay, so we tried to figure out who it was. Some science pointed to Ellis Mark, and he explained the story behind that. I think he probably should have included that we did know who the leak was, but I don't think it's a huge deal.
I think it is in avoiding people from going to harass people like me and What the Checks. I woke up to plenty of ads, and the DMs and ads from people like fucking Tommy C about it.
Man.
I mean, for sure, but as we know, you can't really. Harassment is going to happen. It's not a thing you can.
Oh yeah, of course. But I feel like a greater deal of precaution could have been taken to avoid said harassment.
Perhaps, but I mean, in the same way, D'Angelo probably could have done that. You probably could have done that with your older videos, Mark. Like the only way you're going to prevent harassment, really, there's no way to prevent it. But I guess the greatest way would be if you just like gave the most boring take ever, like, all right, guys, today we're talking about this man, and you just lay out all the facts without any opinion, right?
I think
I somewhat appreciated how laid back D'Angelo took his video. I know he all said it was boring, but I feel like that was the best way to take the thing and not be really over the top about it.
Here's how you could have minimized it, because you said you woke up to a bunch of ads. You could have just given a statement, because like when people were asking about this stuff and you would respond, you said, I'm not going to say who it was. I'm fine with them thinking it's me, or something along those lines. If you just come out and said so, you wouldn't be in this situation. I mean, you chose not to disclose who it was initially.
I didn't want to say who it was at the time, because again, the leaker only came forward between the time it took for us to set up this interview. So at the time I was still under the idea of wanting to protect my friend from getting harassed.
But like, can you really, like, this is just an honest question, can you really complain about harassment when you yourself kind of, in a way, helped, perpetuate the situation by continuing to almost look like a martyr, being like, oh, I'll take the blow, stuff like that?
I'd be proving to people that I'm not a leaker by leaking stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people are asking who leaked it. If you say that, technically you also leaked the information, but you're answering a question of, who did it first. I don't know if that logic really applies. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I had to learn this in some stories, and that's that intention didn't matter. I don't know if you're familiar with this like Instagram wake up story we had a while back ago or something like that. Everybody had the intentions of stopping pedophiles. The situation was handled absolutely horribly. With our guy Twoon ended up making a video on it, and it just did not do good at all. It's a long story, but the point is, while we had good intentions, the execution of what happened did not work out at all. In fact, it just damaged all of us in the end. If this girl had good intentions, she wanted to teach Tom a lesson about saying edgy things and stuff like that. But I'm also going to leak shit that could, ruin his chances of getting into college or getting a job or stuff like that. Look, the intentions might have been there. Does it matter? That's my question.
It's not my business to reveal who did it. I always told her, if you want to come out about it, come out about it. And that's why she eventually did, but because she saw that I was getting harassed for it and was like, okay, it's gone too far. But it's not, I don't know, it wasn't, she was very afraid, because she regretted it immediately. And I didn't want to add to that, her being scared by going like, oh yeah, everybody, this is the person who did it.
Alright. I think that's about everything. So just to wrap this whole thing up. Tom is not a racist, correct?
Tom is not a racist.
You never gave shit to D'Angelo.
I gave
that he would
D'Angelo
use
my
in his
opinion
video.
on Tom.
Yeah. And you knew who the leaker was, but you chose to protect her because her intentions were in the right place, and you didn't want
I
to
knew
leak
who the
anything
leaker was
yourself.
at a certain point in the situation and didn't reveal who it was because I didn't want her getting harassed and believed she had good intent behind it. Yes.
Alright.
All I really wanted to come on this to do is I just wanted to, can we have like a definitive statement right now since there's proof? I did not leak those messages.
Okay. Yeah. That's all the stream's for, is for clarity. I just want to get to the bottom of this and kind of see, what all is, just see what's going on. All right. That being said, listen. You said you had 10 minutes a while back ago. I don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to. I want to thank you for coming on and just answering all the questions. I appreciate that.
No problem. Well, I'll take one chat question before we go. The official Chaz Swampman says, Mark, what is your opinion on Sonic? Sonic is fucking awesome.
I have a question for you regarding Sonic.
Is it the tweet?
So, I didn't want to ask this, but since you brought it up, I do have one question. Do you fuck your Sonic plush toy?
Look, I don't know if I want to be saying this on a live stream, I think I'll take this as my cue to get out.
Did someone say Sonic?
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here.
What's up, Cisco? Oh, he's gone.
I'm not, no. That, listen, I had no, like, involvement in writing that question. It was given to me. I had to do it. What are you gonna do?
Cisco likes men.
Alright.
This is very incriminating. I feel like I'm being ganged up on right now. But,
does it feel that way? Oh my god. Listen, let me check any question in donations before we get out of here, because I think we have it. Let's see. Somebody sent a donation. Stop blocking chat messages. I'm doing nothing. I see Cisco's blocking motherfuckers. I don't know why. Cisco, what the fuck you doing? And there was one question. Talk about the Soprano story, Mark. What are they referring to?
What?
The Soprano story.
I have no clue. Ask Tom. Get Tom back in here and ask him. I want to know what this is.
All right. Well, he's already out of here. Oh, he's back in.
Hey, Tom, what's the Soprano story?
What's the Soprano story?
What's the Soprano story? No, we can't talk about that.
We can't talk. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. It was sent to me.
Yeah, we can't. You know what this is if I tell you, but we can't talk about that.
Oh.
All right. I'll trust you on this.
Okay. All right.
And unless you really want to, but I do not think I can just. Yeah, no, we don't want to talk about that.
I'm gonna take an educated guess and say I think it's best.
I don't know if you want to.
No, it's fine. We don't have to. It's all right, Tom. This was fun, Tom. We need to catch up more often.
Yeah, we need to catch up instead of not getting involved in each other's lives. We need to get way more involved. We need to hug.
Yeah,
cuddle,
Exactly.
do
Let's meet up.
homosexual activities on the daily.
This brings me back to last year when we would say stuff like that daily.
But there was some great trap art back in the day of us.
There was.
I made a video on my
Awesome.
channel about that actually, and then
Is it still up?
took it down in case the FBI took it the wrong way.
Okay. Listen, there's this YouTuber Maximilian Musk that wants to come in. He says, "Listen, I don't want to derail this shit or something. Mark, if you gotta go, you gotta go."
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta finish the video.
Yeah.
I actually gotta go pretty soon as well.
If anyone wants
gotta
to
go
watch my
soon?
video about Adam Sandler, it'll be up on.
All right,
Friday.
we might have to set it up later then. All right, Max. if you
Everyone,
want-
watch LS Mark's Adam Sandler review. Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. Hey,
All right,
hey,
I'm
thanks
going. I'll see
both of
you
y'all
guys
for
later.
coming
LS
on,
Mark,
man.
DM me.
All right.
See ya.
See you later, man. See you later. Jesus Christ, dude. That interview was fucking... Oh, my God. All right, listen. Hey, Max, listen, no offense to you, man, but this interview, you know, it had a purpose. We were kind of focused on something. If you want to come on stream and talk with Tom or something like that, DM me. We can set it up, all right? I don't think this stream's really the right place to do that. No hard feelings, all right? I know some of your fans are mad. They're like, yeah, you faggot, put them in or something. Listen, all right? Not the time, all right? I've had Keemstar, when I had to interview the right opinion on a stream one time, and Keemstar came in, he was like, put me on. I just had to be honest. I was like, dude, this is not your interview. This is for the right opinion only. You can't come on, all right? So it's a similar situation. You want to come in, talk about Tom. Listen, I could bring you in now, but you say you had dirt on Tom or whatever. I don't think it's fair to just be like, all right, see ya, Tom, and then throw him on. DM me. We can set something up, all right? That being said, guys, I don't see any reason to keep the stream going anymore. I hope this was clarity enough. This was a clusterfuck. Jesus Christ. I'm out of here, guys. I might see you later on Twitch tonight. I don't fucking know. Peace out, everyone.